Sheilas and fellas, today we are answering the age-old question, is it worth it to buy an open box pre-built gaming PC from Microcenter, or is it a complete scam? We scoured their open box desktop computers on their website to find the largest markdown possible and stumbled across this Powerspec G762. An RTX 5080 behemoth which usually costs $2,999 United States rock flag and eagle dollars, but open box? This baby was marked down by over $500. So we purchased this naughty girl with our own money, took it straight home to the Glizzy Cave and summoned the best PC reviewer to ever live, the one and only Hank the Sausage. How you doing, buddy? Terrific stuff, mate. Now, to spice things up even more, at the end of the video, we are going to case swap this monstrosity and attempt to flip it for a huge profit in under a week, so stick around for that, mate. Going back to the PC, and what's incredible is, despite being marked down from $2,999 United States bucks to $2,489 United States ham and cheese sandwich dollars, the box has literally not been opened, and to top things off, you have a 15-day return policy, no questions asked, so don't even hesitate to try Microcenter Open Box, mate. It can save you hundreds, but enough yapping. We've got the box flipped upside down. We just have to give it a quick yank upwards, and there she is, hanging inside of the packaging foam, and she appears to look pretty solid. A quick fade to black, and we can finally see her in all of her glory, and Hank can't contain his excitement with this one, mate. A quick inspection of this rig reveals some extremely black components in an all-white build, which I know disgusts a lot of people out there who prefer to stick to one color, so let me know in the comments if this is a deal breaker for you. Oh, smooth brain sausage fella, can you give me 2 firm handshakes and give these people a quick spin and we can light this thing up like the 4th of July? Terrific stuff, mate, and as per usual, this idiot is making it all about himself. Get out of the way, you cheeky bugger. We have to review the aesthetics of this thing. Once we remove him, we are left with this gaming rig right here. Now, it doesn't look bad, but there are a lot of interesting choices in this thing. Let me explain. For some reason, there is no exhaust fan in the rear of this case, which seems a bit lazy, but as you can see, there are 2 massive windmills sucking air into the case, along with a ton of ventilation ports at the front and down the bottom. So it'll probably be fine, but I think having an extra ARGB fan at the back would make it look a lot better because it looks a bit empty right now with only 3 fans on the inside. Secondly, even with all of the ARGB on in the case, this motherboard, GPU, and RAM are blacker than the ace of spades, mate. There's no aluminum anywhere to even help with that, so it sticks out pretty dramatically. The case is the Powerspec version of the Lian Li Landcool 207, which right now retails for $90 at Microcenter. It is very sturdy and well built. It does have these nice rubber grommets that the cables go through and even comes with a sag bracket for the GPU, which is a very nice touch. I don't know, Hank, what do you think about it?
I like turtles.
Very helpful as per usual. Let me know down below whether you like this PC for its aesthetics or if you aren't a huge fan, but the time for looks maxing is over. It's time to rip these components out and see whether we got some studs or if we are dealing with some duds. Starting with the GPU, once we rip up the power cable and unscrew it from the side, we pull it out to reveal the MSI RTX 5080 3-fan 2-slot shadow version of the GPU. Definitely MSI's most basic looking card out of their lineup, a black plastic feeling material, and if you saw our video from last week, we had to play around with the much better looking MSI Gaming Trio version of the card, and that thing was tougher than a mofo. Look at it, mate. It was incredible. It had ARGB out the wazoo. Now, if we go back to our RTX 5080 shadow version of this MSI card, this bad girl right here wouldn't stand a chance in the 2026 Miss Latvia beauty pageant, but if we move away from looks, does it at least perform well when it comes to cooling and gaming? Well, jumping into Call of Duty Warzone at 4K settings, ultra graphics with DLSS set to quality, you can see we are pulling about 250 watts from the 5080, running at close to 100% load, and we are sitting at about 65 degrees while averaging around 105 frames per second. Definitely not too shabby, mate. However, when we moved on to Battlefield 6, it is now seemingly able to pull pull 300 watts out of the GPU, and we are seeing it start to push up into the 70s, mate. So it's definitely a bit more toasty than some other 5080s that we've tested that stayed in the 60s, but it's perfectly fine. Formula 125 was another game that we benchmarked that was able to pull 300 watts out of this card, and the highest temperature she hit was the sexy time number of 69 degrees. Very nice. If we use Furmark, which artificially places the GPU under 100% load, and we do that for about 30 minutes, the highest we see the GPU get to is 73 degrees, so completely acceptable, mate. Even though you're not the best looking card, good job MSI Shadow, and right now this thing is an unbelievable 1,499 United States fish sticks on Amazon. That is disgusting, mate. I miss the days of the RTX 5080 being at MSRP. Ugh. Next up, we move slightly above the GPU and we remove the heatsink off the top M.2 slot to reveal our very first surprise. Like seriously, am I dreaming, mate? A Gen 5 M.2 in a pre-built? This must be heaven because I have never seen anything over a Gen 4 unless you're talking about some of the $5,000 rigs we've tested. This thing is from Crucial with blazing read and write speeds of up to 10,000 megabytes per second and with a price point of 339 United States potato salads on Amazon. This M.2 is definitely goated compared to most of the other crap we're dealing with in these pre-builts. We love you, Powerspec. Good job, Microcenter. Moving on, and we are now looking at the RAM, and just when you thought things couldn't get any better when it came to a Gen 5 M.2, well, it certainly does, mate, because this PC comes with two 32GB T-Force Delta ARGB sticks for a total of 64 gigabytes, baby. You can suck at Ramageddon and AI data centers. I have your precious sticks right here. They are clocked at 6,000 mega transfers per second and a timing of CL38, so pretty good for 2026. And have a look at this, mate. For once, when we go into Task Manager, a pre-built PC has enabled XMP and the RAM is running at its rated 6,000 megabytes per second speed. Great stuff, Powerspec, and take note, all you other trashy pre-built companies. I am looking specifically at you, iBuy scammers. Sorry, I mean iBuy Power. How come I keep getting that wrong? Anyway, moving back to our goated RAM, other than the fact that the ARGB itself pushes an extra 10 frames per second in all games, we also got a good deal on these things because right now on Amazon they cost $939. What the hell, LeBron James, is going on with these prices? I'd rather fight Francis Ngannou without gloves than pay $1,000 for RAM, so we got quite the steal in this open box PC. So with that out of the way, we can finally take off this CPU cooler. Now this is the Cooler Master Elite 360 ARGB edition, and to be honest, when we have tested this in PCs like CyberPower and other Powerspec rigs, it has been extremely average in our hands, and I see a lot of people complain about these online as well. But before we test it, we are going to quickly remove it so you can feast your eyes on the best gaming CPU on the market right now, the Ryzen 7 9850X3D. Released just a few months ago, and this thing is absolutely frame-mogging the original 9800X3D. This thing is as good as it gets when it comes to gaming. The only question I have now is, can this Cooler Master Elite 360 AIO actually handle this beast? Well, not really, unfortunately. Let's start with Fortnite, as it is a more intensive CPU game than GPU. We have it set to 4K performance mode, and you can see this thing is absolutely destroying Fortnite over 400 frames per second, which is pretty unreal in this game, but at times it got pretty toasty. Like for example, when we were running across this river, look at it, mate. It was hitting 75 degrees. Unfortunately, things did not get better when we went over to Marvel Rivals. As we were loading the shaders, which runs the CPU at 100% load, it got up to 89 degrees, which is pretty darn awful, mate. Now, during the game, it was completely fine. It stayed around 70 degrees as we got over 140 frames per second in Marvel Rivals at 4K on high settings. And anyone that says the RTX 5080 isn't a 4K card, you can shut it, mate. Hank got the MVP with his waifu Wanda playing at 4K, so that ends that debate forever. But back to the concerning CPU temperatures. Unfortunately, when we ran it under 100% load on Furmark, the CPU hit 95 degrees, mate. That is god awful. I have no idea what to say, mate. It's definitely not ideal right now. Let me know down in the comments if you have a CyberPower, Powerspec, or any other rig that has the Cooler Master Elite 360, and if you are also having problems with the temperatures, because this is crazy, mate. Anyway, after watching a CPU get burned alive, we can now move to the motherboard, given that it has been stripped to its core, and we can finally see that it is the ASRock X870 Pro A Wi-Fi. Now, getting an X870 motherboard in a pre-built isn't common, so we'll definitely take it, mate. But in saying that, you can get this bad boy pretty cheap on Amazon relative to other X870 boards. It's $170. The other issue is this is ASRock. I am not a huge fan of them when it comes to motherboards, particularly because they had a history of frying 9800X 3D CPUs. However, a BIOS update apparently did fix it, so it should be fine, but again, I don't really use them if I have the chance to avoid them. Looking at this naughty girl, however, it does have 3 M.2 slots. It also supports PCIe 5 on the GPU and on the M.2, mate, so our Gen 5 M.2 can run at its rated speed, which is pretty nice. Looking at the rear I/O as well, it's pretty good. It has 2 Thunderbolt 4 USB-C ports, plenty of USB-As, and Wi-Fi 7, so not bad at all with all things considered. So the last thing we have to check out in this pre-built is the power supply. Now, this is an RTX 5080 rig that usually costs $3,000, so in my personal opinion, the bare minimum should be a 1000 watt tier C PSU, mate, and after that 95-degree debacle from the AAO, please don't let us down, Microcenter. Now, let's just slowly remove the back cover off the case, and OMG, mate, you've got to be kidding me. An 850 watt power supply? WTF are you doing, Powerspec? Now, to be fair, it's a tier B unit from Cooler Master that costs around $99 on Amazon for a similar unit, and technically it is fine for the specs of this rig, but screw these technicalities, mate. Give me a goddamn 1000 watt power supply for $3,000 in my RTX 5080. You were the chosen one, Microcenter. How can you do this to us? At least the cable management is good though. Thanks, Microcenter, you filthy cheapskates. So overall, is Microcenter OpenBox a scam? Hell no, mate. It can save you hundreds of dollars, and this thing looked brand spanking new, so go for it, mate. However, taking a step back, is the Powerspec G762 RTX 5080 64GB rig good? Meh, I mean, theoretically, it's a beast, but for $3,000, I don't think it's worth it, given the temperatures got up to 95 degrees on the CPU, and it came with an 850 watt power supply. If you were just buying this thing exclusively for gaming and you want the RTX 5080, go with the G757 for $2,499 United States hamburgers. You only get 32GB of RAM with that rig, but this is fine for headshot noobs in Fortnite. But the real question we have right now is, can we build this thing using brand new parts for cheaper than Microcenter's $3,000 price tag? For most builds, I'd recommend using Microcenter's bundles. For example, they have this 9850 X3D X870 32GB RAM bundle for $750, but we can't use it right now because we need 64GB. So unfortunately, that caveat is gonna cost us dearly. And if we start with the motherboard, this ASRock X870 is 170 United States beef briskets on Amazon. Next up, we have the 9850 X3D. By itself, brand new. You can get it from Microcenter for $440. Moving on to our Gen 5 crucial 2TB M.2, it's gonna set us back an awful $340 thanks to AI data centers. RAM is even worse. 64GB of Team Group is a horrendous 940 United States Beanie Babies on Amazon. Oh my god, I'm gonna be sick. The Cooler Master 850 watt PSU included in this PC was $99 on Amazon. And unfortunately, Microcenter didn't have this MSI Shadow RTX 5080 available. It was only on Amazon, and again, it's 1,500 American potato salads, which is also nuts. The Lian Li case is $90 from Microcenter, and the Cooler Master Elite 360, which runs hotter than the sun, is $60 on Amazon. So with the price for all of the components sitting on the screen right now, I am happy to tell you that trying to build this PC for yourself brand new on May the 22nd of 2026 will actually cost you $639 more than buying this pre-built yourself. Yes, you heard me right. 3,639 United States Arthur Morgans will buy you the parts brand new, and then you're gonna have to put it together. So technically, this pre-built at its $3,000 MSRP technically isn't a ripoff, but I wouldn't pay that much money for it, mate. If you're desperate for this particular build, try and snipe at OpenBox for the $2,499 price tag we paid. Or if you really want to stick with a brand new pre-built and want an RTX 5080, go with the G757, mate. 64GB be damned. Now, to finish this video off, I was going to flip this bad boy. We have all the parts here ready to go, and I was going to put it into a brand new case with 4,000 Infinity fans, but unfortunately, I was going to give myself a challenge of 1 week to flip this thing for a profit, but I am telling you right now, the market is literally slower than a snail. We've had this thing on Jawa for a week, and it has 1 save and 40 views, which is abysmal compared to some of our other PCs in previous episodes. Meanwhile, on Facebook Marketplace, only 40 clicks, 0 saves, and 0 messages, and this is the case for all my PCs sitting on there right now. So unfortunately, we will need a bit more time to sell this PC, so we are going to do our own individual flipping episode for a number of different PCs in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, if you want to see us flip a PC for a massive profit, click the video in the right hand corner. Otherwise, get out of here, mate. Me and the Glizzy love ya. Goodbye.